virtues speak for themselves. Ship ahoy, lubbers!
All aboard for the transcribed premiere production, The Cruise of the Paul Parrot, that thrilling, exciting story of the sea. In our last adventure, Johnny and Sue, with First Mate George Wainwright and old Peg-Leg Dickon, hid in the secret compartment Alteste had used and listened to a very startling conversation between Alteste and the owner of the ship Paul Parrot, Ezra Grange, in Grange's cabin. In that conversation, every bit of the mystery was cleared up. The map Ezra Grange has and the true purpose of the cruise of the Paul Parrot is the key to a very valuable mineral vein on a small South Sea island, and half of this map really belongs to Johnny's father. Alteste has wanted this map. That's why he has caused so much trouble. And now he threatens to reveal Grange's plot to cheat young Johnny if Grange will not let him in as a partner. When Grange refuses, Alteste produces a gun, and at that moment, Captain Dalton, who has heard everything, demands entrance to the cabin. Grange realizes his plot has been discovered and opens the door while Alteste plans to shoot Captain Dalton as he enters. However, Captain Wainwright hurls Dickon's wooden leg at Alteste and knocks the gun out of his hand. A great struggle ensues in which Dalton knocks out Grange, but Alteste suddenly grabs a knife, seizes Sue, and threatens to stab her if he is followed. The men all stand back at wit's end while Alteste is retreating into the secret passage back to the hold and carrying Sue with him.
Blow me down. Our hands are tied. We can't follow the lubber into the hold. He might harm little Sue.
Well, I'm going to save Sue, and I'll have her free in 10 minutes.
Wait a minute, lad. You'll only be hurt trying to outwit Alteste, and you'll put Sue in greater danger.
Don't worry. I won't let Alteste see me. I'll be careful.
Avast, Roy. What do you suppose the lad means to do?
He can't do anything, George. He's just excited. He likes little Sue. You can lay to that. He's probably just gone on deck to think up some boyish plan.
Captain Dalton. Mr. Grange is coming, too.
Well, after that blow you gave him on the chin, Roy, I'm surprised he didn't stay asleep a lot longer.
Oh, where? So I'm here. Yeah, I remember.
You've gotten us into a pretty reef, Grange.
Oh.
If you hadn't tried to help that swab Alteste, your sister wouldn't be in danger now.
My sister? What's happened to her? Where is she? And where's Alteste?
Alteste grabbed her and rushed down the passageway. We couldn't follow her. He'd have used his knife.
You mean that scoundrel has Sue in his hands? Good Lord, we've got to get her free.
You should have thought of that before you hooked into Alteste's dirty game, Grange.
Oh, what have I done? If anything happens to Sue, it'll be... What can we do? What do you suppose he's going to do to her?
My guess is that he'll camp in the hold and keep Sue as a protection. He'll probably be wanting us to set him a sea in a boat with some provisions. And not until then will he free the girl.
That's my guess, too, George. We'll have to go down in the hold with a white flag and offer him protection until he hands Sue over to us.
Pardon me, sirs, but he can't stay there below forever, or he'd starve.
Not much chance of that, Dickon. Since we know that Red Mulhooly was in this plan with him, Red must have kept him well supplied with provisions when he hid below in that secret passage. He'll still have enough to last him for some time.
But for heaven's sakes, give him anything he wants, anything to save Sue.
It seems to me, Grange, you're bloomin' soft-hearted all of a sudden. Up to now, nobody's life has meant much to you, and your scheming, cheating plans of getting money.
Oh, I know. I deserve all you can say about me. I guess I deserve that blow, Captain. I realize now what a fool I've been. But nothing matters now that Sue's in trouble. She's very dear to me, and we've got to speak to Alteste and talk terms.
I'm glad to hear you talk like that. It brings back some of my faith in men. But you're right. We're wasting words up here. We've got to get below and talk to that Spaniard. We've got to do what he says to get Sue back. And batten down my hatch, it's a sorry thing to me to have to do what that swab says. Avast, then.
Come along with us, Dickon. You've been a great help to us up to now.
Hold on just a second till I lash on me peg legs, sir. It's still lying where it fell when you heaved it at Alteste.
Go ahead, Dickon. We'll go in advance.
We'll head right for the hold. Down here along the companionway.
Nothing can happen to Sue. We can't let it happen.
I know, Mr. Grange, that you're at your wit's end about your sister. But there's one thing I want to make clear. We know all about this cruise now, and we know all you had planned. We know the reason for every list of port, you might say. Well, you're still the owner of the ship, Pal Parrot, and you've the right to say about her. You're to say what's the purpose of the cruise and where she goes. But from now on, as captain, I'm true master of this ship. What we're due aboard, how everything's run above or below deck, I'm to say that. I'm to be true master of this ship from now on. Is that understood, Mr. Grange?
Yes, Captain, you're right. As skipper, that's your duty. I know my place from now on.
Well, sirs, I wish to be alone.
Come ahead, Dickon. Here's the hatch to the hold. Down we go.
I'd say, Captain, that you'd better let the swab know that you're here and that you've come peaceable. Or he's apt to think that you're sneaking up on him, and he might even harm Miss Sue.
You're right, Dickon. Avast there, Altesti. This is Captain Dalton speaking peaceable. We're here to talk terms with you.
There's no answer. Do you think he's in the hold? Maybe he stayed back in the secret passageway.
Oh, good Lord, I hope nothing's happened to Sue.
It isn't likely he's in the passage. My guess is that he's hemmed himself in someplace among these empty whale oil casks.
Blow me down, I believe you're right, Captain. Look over to the starboard ceiling. Do you see how those casks are stacked around in a circle and very high? They were never stowed down here like that.
Ah, scuttle the lubber ship. Ram him amidships. Ah!
Stow that, you slab-sided animal. You're in a bad enough squall as it is.
Ahoy there, Altesti. We're here on a peaceful mission. Will you talk terms with us?
Come forward to this group of casks. We have built a fortress here, so do not try any tricks.
He said we built a fortress, Captain. Who else does he mean by we?
Shiver me timbers, sir. Look, the iron's there, where you had Red Mulhooley chained up.
They're empty.
So that's it. He's freed Mulhooley, and they're both back of those casks.
Is Mulhooley back there with you?
Of course, we work together. Capitan, you and Senor Grange approach the casks. The others must stand 10 paces behind you. And don't try any tricks.
Go ahead, Captain. We'll stand back.
All right. But how do we know you won't heave that knife at us?
You are a fool, Capitan. If I threw a knife at you, how could I harm the girl I am holding as hostage?
That sounds reasonable. Avast then, we're here. Now, what do you want us to do before you return the girl unharmed?
You must outfit a whaleboat with a month's provisions in case we are sometime at sea. You must pile all weapons aboard the ship in the bow, and you and all the crew must stand in the stern. You yourself must lower the boat with Mulhooley and myself and the girl in it.
The girl? What do you mean?
You will also supply us with an empty cask. As soon as we have been set afloat, we lash the little lady to the casks and set her in the sea. Then you can pick her up and take her aboard.
Of all the outrageous plots that I ever...
Careful of your tongue, Senor Grange. You have nothing to gain by it.
Very well. We'll do whatever you say.
But understand this, Altesti. The girl must be returned unharmed.
I assure you she shall be. If you doubt about her now, you may see her. See?
Look, he's lifting her above the casks. She's waving.
Sue, are you all right?
I'm fine, Ezra. You and Captain Dalton mustn't worry about me. Just do whatever you think best.
All right, Sue. Very well, Altesti. We'll do as you say.
I hate to do this, you bilge scum, but our hands are tied. There's nothing we can do. We'll have the whaleboat ready in 30 minutes.
You are very sensible, Capitan. Much more sensible than I thought. One more condition. When we go above, Capitan, you must walk ahead of us, right before us. I do not trust your fists. You strike quickly and very well. As my companion here, Senor Mulhooley, can attest.
Stow that. I'll get even with him for that someday.
Aye, Mulhooley. I look forward to a pleasant scene when we meet again.
Be sure, Senor Capitan, that the whaleboat you prepare for us is equipped with canvas, properly trimmed. We shall need a sail, for we will wish to leave you in quite a hurry.
Blaster, you think of everything. Very well. Wainwright and Dickon, come here. You heard the conditions this swab Altesti has set for us.
Aye, sir.
We'll have to comply in every detail. I'll remain here until they come out of their hiding place. Then I shall walk before them, just as they said.
It's bloomin' dangerous. The lubber can stab you in the back.
I'll have to take that chance.
Don't turn around, sir. Something bloomin' funny is happening to one of those casks on the top row, over where Altesti's voice was coming from.
What do you mean?
It's rocking very slowly to and fro, and it's always moving further in.
Blow me down. What could that be?
Suffering whitefish. I know, Captain. Johnny went away from the cabin ahead of us. I'll lay you that he's stowed away in that cask, and he's losing his balance.
I think, sir, that if Johnny is in that cask, he knows what he's doing. Boil me and blubber, the cask is ready to topple over.
I've got to look. Avast, there it goes, falling inside their stockade. What is it? How did that fall
I
in
got
that
Altesti's knife, and if you step forward and turn around to me, I'll jab it into your back.
Come on, rush the casks. It's our one chance. Why, you little heron frightening me with the dirt. I'll show you count on it. Oh! Who hit me with a stake? Oh!
Johnny, watch out!
I'll show you.
Heave the casks aside, men.
Oh, Johnny! Look out!
You've reached the end of your rope, Mulhooley.
Stow me in the briny. Look, There's Johnny beating him over the head with a piece of that cask, and Sue standing behind him with a knife.
And Alceste's lying on the floor, out, dead to the world. Stand aside, Mulhooley. We've got you.
You win. I give in. It was all his idea. I wouldn't have hauled a girl. What are you going to do with me?
What usually becomes of mutineers and murderers, Red?
I knew it. I knew if I cast it with that snake, I'd swing in the end. I knew it.
Wainwright, take him away and put him back in irons. Then lash Altesti here. I think it'll be quite a few minutes before he wakes up, though.
Sue, thank heaven you're safe.
Oh, Brother Ezra, I'm so glad it's all over.
And a braver pair of young ones than her and the lad I've never heard of on land or sea. Johnny, you've got the courage of the best of men, and you can lay to that.
I had to do it, Captain.
It's a miracle you weren't hurt when you fell with that cask on top of Altesti.
Oh, I just got a couple of scratches.
Avast, lad, how did you ever do it?
Well, I just sneaked down here in the hold, behind all these casks. And those two men were so busy piling up casks to make that stockade, they never even heard me. Then, while they were talking to you, I climbed up the casks. I always was good at climbing trees back on the farm, and I knew none of the casks had lids on them. So I crawled in that one right over Altesti and watched my chance to rock it and make it fall on him.
You've saved my sister, lad, and helped get these blackguards.
Yes, Mr. Grange, and just what do you propose to do about it?
I've been a money-grabbing fool, Captain. I suppose it always works out this way when you try to cheat. Well, I know when I'm wrong. I bought Ezekiel Kipp's interest in that treasure map, and as outfitter of the cruise, I suppose I'm rightfully entitled to half the minerals we find. But so help me, the other half goes to Johnny Robbins.
Mr. Grange, thank you.
Oh, Brother Ezra, you're a darling.
Now, Sue, watch out for my cravat. You're mussing me all up.
Mr. Grange, you've come through like a real man. We all make mistakes, and I'm proud to shake the hand of a man who admits his mistakes and makes them good.
Thank you, Captain.
And from now on, it's bend on all canvas for the island in the South Sea, which is to be our goal.
Blow me down. This is a happy time for all of us. I've not felt so good since I caught me first whale.
Ah, smooth sailing ahead. Smooth sailing from here on out. Ah!
And so, thus ends our story of the cruise of the Paul Parrot. With Altesti and Mulhooley caught at last, with Johnny Robbins in for a large share of a great treasure, with Mr. Grange coming through like a true honest New Englander, and with Captain Dalton in full command of his ship, all's well. For from this moment on, we know that no ship ever sailed the sea on a happier journey than this, the cruise of the Paul Parrot. Your Paul Parrot announcer All aboard for the transcribed premiere production, The Cruise of the Paul Parrot and the Thrilling Adventures of Whaling Days. The trim whaling ship, the Paul Parrot, has set sail from New Bedford in the spring of 1858, with a fine crew and the most unusual company of people aboard. Although she sailed with the announced purpose of hunting whales and collecting a cargo of whale oil, the true reason for the cruise of the Paul Parrot is to seek a valuable mineral treasure on an unknown island. Captain Dalton, his best friend and first mate George Wainwright, the one-legged sailor Dickon, the cabin boy Johnny Robbins, and little Sue Grange, sister of the ship's owner, have succeeded in uncovering the secret, which was known only to the owner of the ship, Ezra Grange. He is also on the voyage, supposedly as a passenger, but really to find the treasure he seeks. After a bold attempt by a Spaniard named Altesti and his partner in crime, Red Mulhooley, to get control of the ship and secure the treasure for themselves has been foiled by the bravery and quick thinking of our friends, the troublemakers have been thrown in irons down in the hold. Since Johnny Robbins' father was one of the original discoverers of the rich mineral deposit on the secret island, Ezra Grange has promised him half the treasure when it's found. Just at this point, with the villain safely disposed of and the ship well on its way to the island, a cry comes from the masthead.
There she blows.
Blow me down, Mr. Grange. A whale sighted and so soon out. But with a new purpose in mind, a seeking for treasure, perhaps we might as well not waste time, Whalen.
Oh, no, Captain Dalton. Even though we are first on the mission of this map, Grange and Sons are still in the whale oil business, you know. We'll not pass up such a chance when it's right before us.
Aye, aye, sir. Right you are. We'll make short work of this lubber in no time at all. Wainwright, you and Dickon go on deck. Give orders to make ready for the catch.
Aye, aye, sir.
Oh, Johnny, we'll see our first whale caught.
Yeah, I wish I could go along.
Stand by. All hands on deck. Man the whaleboats. Mr. Mascara, make ready for the catch. Mr. Jart, make ready to lower away. There she blows off the starboard bow.
Avast, it's a mammoth one for fair, a giant blue whale. He'll be hard to take, but worth the effort, I'll lay you to that.
All's ready, sir. Mr. Jowett's boat will make the catch with Mr. Biscara's boat standing by if assistance is needed.
He'll likely need it from that whale's size. Drop anchor! Heave her to! She's up too, Capitan.
There she blows. She's the biggest lubber I've laid me peepers on.
Look, here comes old Dickon with our mascot Polly on his shoulder.
He looks terribly excited, Johnny.
Captain Dalton. Shiver me timbers, Captain, it's him.
Heave to, Dickon. What are you bawling about?
Oh, Captain, to me dying day I'd know him. It's the very one, Captain.
Avast, Dickon. What's all this blabbing about? Speak up, man.
Well, that whale rolling out there's the same blue whale that cost me legs some 15 years ago. I've seen him since many a day, and he's a monster to make fast to. But it's the same one, Captain, you may lay to that, sir.
But, Dickon, how could you be sure that that's the same whale when he's so far from the ship?
Oh, lass, I could never mistake that whale. Never to me dying day. Captain, I want to go out after that whale. I always swore we met again. It would be him or me, sir.
Blow me down, Dickon. You want to go in one of the boats?
I do, sir. I'm still as good a harpoon arm as ever. Lash me to a yard arm if I don't sink the iron deep into his carcass.
Dickon, mate, I know how close this is to your heart. I'm willing to give you a chance, but if harm befell you, I'd never forgive myself.
Oh, Captain, I'll take the risk. Please let me go, sir.
I'll do it. Mr. Jowett, Dickon will go with you as boat steerer.
Good luck, Dickon. Oh, but do be careful.
Oh, heaven bless you. I'll not fail. Avast, mates! Avast there! I'm cabin!
We'll reach and blow and mill about, but we'll get 'em.
Swing the mainyard! Lower away! Good luck, men! And follow close astern, Buscala. Aye, aye, Capitan. Jowett's boat may have to weather heavy swells near that monster.
There they go. I hope Dickon catches his whale.
Aye, lad, there they go. Poor old Dickon has waited many a year for this moment. He can't fail. Batten down my hatch, but my heart is pumping as if I were out there with him.
Look at that boat skim over the water. You know, it seems funny, Captain Dalton. You said Dickon would take the place of the boat steerer, and yet he's not steering. He's standing up in the bow of the boat with the harpoon.
That's right. The second mate, Mr. Jowett, is steering. But after Dickon makes his strike and makes fast to the whale, then he and Jowett will change places, and he'll truly be the boat steerer.
Oh.
It seems to be a strange custom, I know, but it's always been so in whaling as far back as any man can remember.
They're creeping up on the whale. Gee, he's really a big one, all right.
He surely is. I never dreamed anything could be so big.
They can make no more noise than they must, young'uns. Because, you see, a whale's eyes are poor, but his ears are keen. And if he hears the slightest noise that's irregular, he'll sound.
Sound?
Yes, sound, dive under. And once he's under, there's no telling where he'll go. He may breach miles away.
Breach? What's that, Captain Dalton?
By breach, I mean he comes up to the surface again.
Oh, look, they're almost to him. Dickon is standing up with a harpoon in his hand.
Yes, he's about to cast the iron. May the gods of the sea smile on him and bring him luck.
Look, the whale's turning about.
Blow me down, he sees him.
Oh, my, he's going for the boat.
There goes Dickon's arm. He's cast.
Oh.
He's struck.
Dickon got him all right, but now there'll be the Dickens to pay, and he may lay to that.
But the whale's turning around. He can't bite anything with his back turned.
Aye, but there's the danger. A blue whale, though he's the biggest of all, has no teeth. His mouth is full of baleen.
Huh?
Baleen? What in the world is that?
Baleen is really the name for whalebone. It grows in plates in the whale's mouth from 2 to 12 feet in length.
Well, if they're not teeth, why are they in the whale's mouth?
To collect food and keep it in his mouth.
Oh.
But it's not his mouth I'm worrying about. It's the flukes of his tail, the most dangerous things in all the 7 seas.
Flukes are the points of the tail, aren't they, Captain Dalton?
That's right, Johnny. Those enormous points. Those are the flukes.
The whale is raising his tail out of the water. He's bringing it down on the boat.
Oh. Suffering whitefish. Both the boats are matchwood, and the men are all out in the sea.
Oh.
Wainwright, make my boat ready and lower away.
Aye, aye, Captain. But by Jehoshaphat, I'm going along.
Well, very well, George. In my boat. That's it, mate. Swing the mainyard. Lower away.
Oh, do be careful, Captain. Please, Mr. Wainwright, don't let anything happen to you.
We'll be careful, Sue. Johnny, what are you doing in this boat?
I had to go along, Captain. I'm small and quick. I can help.
Well, blow me down, Roy. We're lowered now. There's no time to put the lad aboard.
Oh, Johnny, you shouldn't have done this. But it's too late to do anything now. Keep low and out of the way. Ready, men. Here, man, I'll take the iron. You take a place at the stroke oar. I've got to make this strike myself. On, men, on!
Gee, look. The men out there in the sea are almost drowning. That whale's turning up the water so.
There's Dickon. He's swimming for dear life. Easy, man, easy. We're almost on him. Wainwright, I'm going to cast the iron. Get ready to change places with me. Aye, aye, sir. Avast! There he preaches right ahead. Boil me and blubber. He looks like a man of war. And still see Dickon's iron in him. Yeah, it was a good strike. But this must be a better or we're all lost. We're on him, Roy. Give it to him. Here it is, you monster. Right. Change, George. Change. Keep the line. Get his steering oar. Then rope for your lives, but keep fast to him. Stay out of the way of his fluke.
He's raising his tail again.
Oh! Support, men, support. Here comes the line.
Look, the boat's half full of water.
Hold on, men. Stay afloat. He missed us. Don't let her capsize. He's shredded. He's going to ram us. Astern, men, for your lives. Blow me down. He's turning again. Give him another iron, Wainwright. Aye, aye, sir. There. That's it. He's on the run. He's on the run. Haul line, men. Haul line. Keep it taut. Oh, we're closing in on him. Make ready to give him the lance, George.
Look, there's Dickon. He's alongside the whale. He's hanging onto his flukes.
Dickon, don't be a fool. You'll be killed by those flukes.
He's climbing up on the whale's back. What has he got in his hand?
Strapping down by a hatch, he's got a lance. He's crawling over to one side of the whale. If that monster sounds now, old Dickon is lost. There goes Dickon's arm. He's sinking the lance. Watch out, men. The whale's sounding. It's all over, men. He's done it. Old Dickon's done it. That blow of the lance finished him. Good old Dickon. He got his whale. Fin out! Fin out! It's all over. There the monster rolls over on his back.
Gee, I was never so excited in all my life.
Come on, men. We've got to pick up the men. Bail up out of the water out of the boat, me hearty. We've almost been swamped. Captain, avast. There's Dickon. Dickon, are you safe? Lend a hand, mates. Look lively there. Help those hands to starboard.
I got him, Captain. Fin out, I got him.
Help him aboard, men. Easy there, easy. Are you sound, Dickon? Are you all right?
I'm sore as a boiled clam, Captain. But I done it. Nobody can say I ain't even up to score.
Here, Dickon, sit over here. We've got to get all those other men aboard.
Look, Captain. Mr. Nicholson on board is sending us signals with the colors and topgallants. He's sending out another boat to aid us in picking up the men. Good. Look lively, Mr. Wainwright. There's Buscara and his boat steerer to port. And there's Jowett. Pick him up. Here comes Nicholson's extra boat. I think all hands are accounted for, sir. Avast, let's see. Jowett and Buscara. 3 hands here. 2 making for Nicholson's boat. 5 still overboard there. Aye, Mr. Wainwright. All present, all accounted for. Our boat will still hold a few more hands. Help those men astern over the gunwale. Easy there, easy. Well, Dickon, it was a hard battle, but you've a stout heart. Man and boy, I've sailed the sea many years, and I've never met with a braver seaman, and you may lay to that.
Thank you, Captain. You don't know what this day has meant to me. I've evened up the bloomin' score. That great blue whale's floats broke me leg some 15 years back, and that's how I come to lose it, you know. And now there the beast rolls, dead as a scuttlebut.
And it was your thrust with the lance when you were on the whale's back that did it, Dickon.
Aye, lad. It's more than a fair exchange as I see it. I'm content now.
Look, Captain. They're sending more signals up at the mainmast. So they are. It blew me down. They've sighted land. Land, sir, in these seas? I know. No land hereabout. Avast! The signals say land 3 points off the weather bow. I can't understand raising land in this... Look! Can you sight something there?
Why, it looks like smoke.
Smoke? Why, lad, you're right. But it's a lot of smoke for a fire.
Well, shiver me timber, sir, if I may speak me mind. It looks like smoke from a volcano to me.
A volcano? Why, the secret island we're sailing to has a volcano on it.
Ahoy, lad, that's the ticket. That's it. You may lay to that. They've sighted our treasure island. Our cruise has reached its mark.
Land, the secret island that bears the wealth of minerals that Grange has been heading for. Dickon has realized his life's ambition by killing the giant whale that once cost him his leg. But what lies ahead on this mysterious island? Will our friends have trouble ashore? Are the 2 troublemakers imprisoned in the hold of the Paul Parrot likely to start any more villainy? Only the further transcribed adventures of the cruise of the Paul Parrot will tell. Be sure to follow Captain Dalton, Sue, Johnny, and their friends on the cruise of the Paul Parrot. Your Paul Parrot announcer is Dave